Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be talking about what I think is the #1 predictor of speed, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab. Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become. All right, so I apologize for having a little bit of break in terms of the videos here. There might be a little bit more time. I'm working on a lot of different things at the moment, but just know that I'm working on some great content here to be able to release later on into the year, working on a book, going to continue to work on articles and make it so we can get some better visuals, and we'll also continue to work on videos as well. A big thing that I have really been spending some time to be able to figure out how to best make a video to explain this and show this, and it's something I've been talking about with clients for a good period of time, but just haven't been able to figure out how to best show this in a video that will be able to help people improve their overall performance. And so I think today we have the best opportunity to be able to do so. I will continue to work on this. I'm sure that we'll start seeing more and more people start talking about this and start posting about this after we are able to dive a little bit deeper into it. So just to give a little bit of context before we hop into the full video is what I'm using here are very, very rudimentary tools, right? So this isn't a lot of great scientific data. I'm not trying to act like I am some scientist and have some, crazy biomechanics lab, but still with the information that we have and just by being able to work with a variety of different types of athletes and seeing a variety of different great results, what this ends up being is, I think, again, the #1 predictor of speed. If you are able to achieve this one particular thing, then from a average speed perspective, you're going to be in the upper echelon, great to even higher. So this is going to be a thing that we just see time and time again when it comes to high performing sprinting athletes, period. And that's why I think it's really important to be able to make the video and be able to make it in a way that is correct and in a way to make it so you guys could actually see it. So we'll take a look at the video here, and what you see are two different athletes. And I'm using this video just because I can capture at such a high frequency on my phone that it gives me the best opportunity to see it in the most clear way. I will show Noah Lyles as well, so then you could also get a good understanding of what that looks like too. It's just not as clear when we look at Noah Lyles. But when this foot is about to leave the ground, right, we're looking at this back foot here, we see that the angle of the knee, right, so we're looking at the hip, knee, and ankle is at like 160 to 165 is typically the numbers that we're seeing here. And what we're looking at here is going to essentially be the angular velocity. So what I'm going to do is from this point, I'm going to go another 1/10 of a second. So we were at 175 there. We're going to go to really another 7.3. I mean, basically 1/10 of a second, right? And so now we're going to, again, look to see the angle here. And what we see is about 100-degree change in the knee angle within 0.1 seconds. Essentially what that is 166 RPMs, right, is what we want to be able to see in the knee angle, the ability of that knee to be able to flex in backside mechanics, right? People that are able to run really fast are able to accomplish that. That's the answer right there. Look at the athlete here on the left. We see 163, and the time is 0.58. So again, I'm going to go another 0.1. Okay, now we're at that point, and we're going to get back into here. So we had 6.5 there, and now we went to 9.5. So, about 70 degrees of change within that 0.1 seconds. 7 degrees, which is 116 RPMs, right? I was pretty consistently getting his RPMs between 110 and about 120. In comparison to, again, when we look at this is closer to really, it's 166. If you get 100 degrees in 0.1 seconds, it's 166 RPMs, right? And so that ends up being a huge difference, right? I think that athlete on the left has the opportunity to be able to get a lot faster, and just to be able to, and I'm going to go and get Noah Lyles up here right now, and in that time, we'll just kind of give a little bit of clarity behind everything, which is that when you are sprinting, you want to be able to get obviously a large amount of knee flexion happening very, very quickly. And in order to achieve that, you can't just bend the knee without also having good hip flexion. You have to be able to have a combination of both, and we'll be able to really see that well here with Noah Lyles. But that ends up being, again, the key thing that we're looking for. Okay, and you can obviously tell, like I said, this isn't a perfect display of scientific data, right? I'm using what I have. I don't have any type of high-end lab, and I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars invested into this. What I do have is a lot of time spent with a lot of athletes and starting to see really a key part in what ends up differentiating. And that's where I feel like it's almost like a benefit to be able to work with not only the best athletes, but a lot of sometimes athletes that just need to get better, because now you could really be able to understand and see and differentiate between the two. And I've just been seeing this a lot in something that once people can start to do, it really helps them in their performance. Now, with Noah Lyles, and the reason that I say that you have to be able to have great hip flexion, because I think it'll be great to be able to see kind of that same thing here. So we go 7.3, and then when we go to the 0.83, we could see how fast not only is he bending his knee, but also how fast he's also getting his knee to come through, right? This is from a few years ago when he was running the 4x1 anchor. I love this video. You could probably see it on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, where he just, his speed is just unreal in this video here. But again, we were at 161. Now he's at 5.9. Okay, so that's 102 degrees in that 0.1 seconds. Right, again, not perfect in terms of the scientific part of it, but I don't think it's really far off either. Okay, that would be 170 RPMs. Okay, still, very, very close to what our predictability is here when it comes to the speed. We're looking at 0.35 to 0.45. And this is when he's running the 200. So it's a little bit different, I would want to say here. And also we have definitely not nearly as good of a camera angle. Okay. But again, 0.6 or 65, right? So if we go to 6.1 to 6.5, that's going to be closer to 96 degrees, which is still 160 RPMs. Right, that's a big difference. Okay, 160, we got 160, 166, and 170 were the three people that were really fast. The one athlete that we looked at that was not very fast was at 116 RPMs. Okay, and so we have to understand that flexion of the hamstring, being able to really create, or of the knee, right? The hamstring is the primary actor on the knee there. It's going to be the primary reason that you're going to be able to have flexion in the knee. And what ends up being, I think, an important thing to be able to consider as well is that we're in a lot of hip extension here. So the hamstring's already active because we're in hip extension, but now we have a combination of hip extension and knee flexion happening simultaneously at a very, very high rate. And you being able to do that and stabilize that and control that and be able to balance as you're doing that, I think is the number one predictor when it comes to speed. If you could do that well, you could run fast. Period, point blank. That is what you have to be able to do. How you get there, there's a lot of different things that end up having to come into play. You have to, again, have great balance. You have to be able to have a great way to be able to accelerate. You have to be able to have great hip flexion. But I think what's important is we need to understand the goal. What are we trying to accomplish? And the more specific we can get in what it is that we're going to accomplish, the easier it is to be able to achieve. So if you have a specific goal of, let's say, improving by 2 miles an hour top speed, right? You want to be able to get 2 miles an hour faster. Well, first we have to know how fast are you currently? 18 miles per hour, maybe, right? Then we have to understand what is holding you back from getting that 18 miles per hour. This is why I went in depth into trying to be able to solve this for you, is so now we could say, okay, this could be a big thing that is impacting your top speed. If you're not able to have great knee flexion and be able to sustain that and be able to control it, you're not going to be able to have great overall top speed. So that was the goal of making this video. Thanks for watching. As always, if you want to learn a little bit more about what we do, you could check that out in the description down below. Always trying to provide as much data as we can. This is one of just many different things that I've been looking into when it comes to speed. So definitely be on the lookout for some more content like this. I just want to be able to really create a nice understanding, a nice package program that makes it so no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, you could get very, very applicable, understandable results when it comes to speed training. And, that's really my mission right now. And so, going into that, I really started to realize, okay, this is a big thing that we need to be able to really start to understand and differentiate. And so, hopefully by putting this out there, that leads you to be able to run faster. But more importantly, hopefully this will make it so you understand that there are a lot of different parts of being able to really maximize your speed. And while this is one of many, this is the most important thing that I think, or the number one predictor of speed that we'll be able to see time and time again, is to be able to have that 166 RPMs when it comes to how fast we're able to bend that knee in top speed. And being able to achieve that should be your number one goal if you're trying to run faster. So go and check out the link down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. And as always, we'll talk to you soon.